So I am so sorry. My internet has been killing me all morning, dropping. So I'm really, really sorry. I was in the midst of try. Oh, there Sue is again. Let's this works again. I hate the fact that internet's so bad. So let's see if she'll be able to pop on. So this is our weekly chat for hashtag. Oh, are you there?
Hi! I'm actually in my car. You see, you know what? I didn't shower yet because normally, we shower. I wanted to show, this is what you're supposed to look like. Yes, I wanted to be realistic about this is how I look like after I work out at the gym. Like, you know how you see, certain, sports fitness models? The one where they have that, that sexy fashion show in November, where, now they have this athletic line and the girls just look so hot and so pretty. I'm like, well, you don't really look like that at the gym. If
No, you don't.
You look like this.
So did you literally just come out?
Yes, because it was a crazy morning. I was on the phone with school talking about my son, and then my parents called me, and then I was like, oh my God. I'm like, I had to hit the gym before we do this live feed to, pump up my endorphins and get hyper. So as you can see, I'm talking 5 miles an hour, 20 miles an hour.
Well, I love how committed you were. So I was supposed to go walking this morning, and I didn't, and I'm going because I was waiting for Wade to come back. He had to drop the kids to school because they're walking together. And instead, I ended up using the elliptical, which is right here.
I know, I'm trying to move it to a better angle.
Yeah.
But it's okay. Well, all right. We'll figure it out.
It's a little higher. Can you hold it?
Yeah, I can hold it. My nose is itchy.
I love how real you are.
I know. I know. I threw on a sweatshirt, so at least you didn't see my sweaty tank top. Because literally, I sweat I saturate. I literally look like I've been sitting in a Russian bathhouse or a sauna for 2 hours. I look like I'm dripping wet. I look like that person that you don't want to sit next to. Oh my gosh, she's sweaty. I'm thanking God that at least people aren't able to smell me right now. But I loaded up on the deodorant, so.
Oh my God. So what did you do at the gym?
Oh, I just, I did the treadmill because I took a couple of months off because my knee was bothering me. So the last couple of weeks I started going back slowly. And my knee feels not as bad. So, I know it's what happens when you start getting old. All of a sudden body parts start hurting you and you're like, this is so not cool.
Because you run marathons and you ran the whole Long Island, right?
I ran the half marathon back in the spring, the Long Island half, and that was, it was pretty painful afterwards. Because normally, I've done a lot of 5Ks and 10Ks, and I said, you know what, let's bump it up to a half, and then eventually in the future go for a whole. But I remember, after that half, I think 3 days, by the third day, I think I was able to start walking without pain.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a while to recover from a half.
Yeah.
I would never
it
do
is.
full. I would never do
No.
full. So I just shared our live Facebook.
Okay.
To my personal, and then we have it on Mom's Pump here, so anybody could tune in. So we have a serious topic today, and I was like,
yes.
I know we need to talk about this because it's on everyone's mind.
Yeah. It's something I just when you think about it, when other moms are discussing mom thing, just mom life and stuff like that, I want to say this is not really a topic that I've really discussed with any other mom. I don't know if it's not it's taboo or anything like that, but it's just, I think it's also something it's a scary topic. It's something you hope that this never happens to not only your child, but any child. But unfortunately, in the world that we live in, there's always, a possibility. And the article was definitely an eye-opener. And like I said, it was, it's definitely something that every mom, or any parent or grandparent should look out for.
Yeah. So so did you get that book? Did you get that book from
I did get the book from Amazon. I only started like the first chapter. So
Okay. All right. So
I can definitely after I read it, hopefully I can just like write like a little blog about it and incorporate. Yeah.
So our big topic, so what Sue and I are the seriousness of it is about sexual abuse and how to detect sexual abuse. So how
the certain the certain signs from it that you have to look out for and how to, you know, prevent it. It's like, you know, and the one big thing they talk about is like more, you know, people automatically assume it's going to be from a stranger.
Yes.
And 9 out of 10 times it's I believe it's like somebody that you know, somebody that's close to you. You know, and then some people don't realize, like, you know, oh, it's somebody close to you. And that's like the scary part, because you're like, what?
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing that parents assume, but it's so true. Like we think our kids, I mean, we want to believe that the world is, you know, loving and caring, but the world is
and sparkles and sprinkles and unicorns and
all unicorns and
rainbows.
glitter.
Yeah.
We have to worry about our kids. We have to think about their safety. We have to coach them.
Yes.
So they end up in situations, bad situations.
And also discussing with your children, like, you know, what's, you know, inappropriate and what's, you know, what's appropriate or, you know, not appropriate, and using the correct terminology for your body parts, you know?
Yeah. So I thought that was interesting because we refer to body parts like lately because the kids are older.
Yeah.
I've been saying the words vagina and
Yes.
penis.
Yeah.
Like, don't say it.
I know. But you know what? Eventually they're going to start learning about that in health class. You know.
They are.
So, and then you're going to need to know. You don't want to say, like, you know, oh, my mom calls it a hoo-ha or something, you know. You know.
Or your cookies or something, or your pancakes or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah. So even with Liam hasn't taken, so Liam's 10 years old and he hasn't taken health class yet. I think 5th grade. But with him, I've been saying the words, and he's the one who's always like, no, don't say that. You know, I don't want to hear. But I say it.
Yeah, because you don't want them to get embarrassed by, you know, the terminology. Like, it's not, there's nothing wrong with it. That's the correct terminology.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think so this article that we're talking about, so let's back up a little bit. I just posted it on the feed. It was posted on For Every Mom website, and it's called "A Pediatrician Just Laid Out How to Protect Your Child from Sexual Abuse."
Yes.
So there's tons of different tips here that are detailed about how to detect sexual abuse and how to keep your child safe.
Yes.
And I were just talking about with the terminology with one of them, because we oftentimes create nicknames for our body parts.
Yeah.
So when it's in a situation where somebody's calling that body part the nickname, like hoo-ha or pancake or whatever, it could lead to something, you know, if the person has bad intentions for your child and they're using those types of words, the child might be confused.
Yes.
There might be some confusion there.
Yeah.
Which I could totally see. Like, they might think it's a safe situation because the adults using the same word as mom and dad uses.
Yeah.
You know. So it's good to always, like, even though you're using those words, because we feel uncomfortable using the correct terms. Yeah. I think eventually you need to start using the words vagina and penis, so your kids need to know what the correct terminology is. So the first one was the location of sexual abuse. Do you remember that section?
The location meaning on the body, or the location like where it happens?
It happens in some place familiar. So
yes.
Exactly what about stranger danger. It's all tied into like what strangers really are. You know, we don't really know what strangers are. And I know a lot of our moms have babies and toddlers, but these are all things that we need to start thinking about early, because the world is not perfect. You know, crap happens.
Yeah.
So what are safe places? There's no real safe place. Really, it's just who you're with, right?
Yes.
So they're talking about, you know, predators can be a cousin, it can be a neighbor, it could be an uncle,
It could be a,
you know what I mean?
It could be somebody, I hate, it's scary to say. It could be a coach. It could be, it could be anybody.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. It could be
a
like
teacher. Like, I don't know if anybody watches Riverhead. It's a TV show. And the big, storyline last year was, it's based off the comic book Archie comic books, like the characters. And the big storyline last year that they never really kind of addressed, and they still haven't, the new season just started, was Archie is a student in high school and who had sexual relations with his teacher. It's a big story, and they still haven't really, discussed it, like, about how,
that's like it's comic. It's comic.
What?
That's crazy.
It's crazy, but it's a storyline that happened last season, and they didn't really, and then the teacher left because they got caught, but there was no really like discussing about it. Like, you didn't see like the father discussing with the son, like, that was an inappropriate relationship, stuff like that.
Wow. So that's interesting. So a lot of things that we see in our pop culture society.
Yes. Yeah.
Like,
you don't want it glamorized,
Yeah, it glamorizes it, because you even think about the whole thing, like, oh, little kids are hot for their teacher or whatever, and then you hear these stories of teachers hooking up with their students.
Yeah, it's scary.
But
you feel like, and you hear like, little kids maybe having a crush on somebody that's a little older, and you gotta,
Yeah.
It's scary. Oh, my nose is itchy. Sorry.
It's sweaty.
I know, it's sweaty. That's what it is.
Another thing was slumber parties. So slumber parties.
Yeah. They talk about like the bigger the slumber party, like, it's easier for a child to like veer off if it is at a predator's house,
Yeah.
and nobody would notice that. Whereas, if you are just having a sleepover with one or two kids, it's easier for somebody to spot, like, oh, where's the other kid?
Yeah, so that's crazy. So I know both our kids have done slumber parties. Like, I know that both of us do that.
Yeah.
But I've never thank God, I've never been in a situation where I've like questioned.
Yeah. Well, they've only done slumber parties with family members, and within the last couple of years, it's only been with one boy that lives literally right around the corner from us, and I explicitly trust the family. They're, it's a very good family, so, but it, it took a long time for me to feel comfortable having them sleep over somebody's house that, that wasn't like a family member that I trusted.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It's friends. So when we lived in Miami, we had no close family nearby. We had to make friends.
Yes.
And the friends that we made were like family. Even their babysitter, Chantel, was their preschool teacher. Yeah. And I trusted her. So having her take care of the kids when we were away was just like a no-brainer. You know what I mean? So friends had to become family quickly for us. When we lived down there, because we didn't have it. And our neighbors, Bob and Marlene, which we love. We love Bob and Marlene.
Shout out!
They probably won't be watching this.
No.
But they were always there for us, and they became family very quickly. And not everybody has that, has the same situation where they meet people where, a trust and a bond is made. But then there's a whole questioning of like, if you send your child to somebody's house for a sleepover and you trust the parents, what if parents have friends over or other family members over that you don't know? What happens in that situation? And what if there's what if there's a birthday party sleepover? What do you do?
Yeah. No, I understand. And I just want to say from the get-go, we're not trying to make anybody paranoid by talking about this, because I know like it can really get you paranoid when you start thinking about it and reading. We just want you to become more aware of like certain things, and and just shed a light on something that I feel like I don't really talk to other moms about it. So, and I know that if I'm not really talking about it with other moms, is other moms out there talking about it with other moms, or they just kind of like keep it all in their head?
Probably not. Moms are not talking to other moms because even some of the things like sleepovers and a neighbor, could be a friend.
Yeah.
Are all things like, you know, you're talking to somebody who's not your relative, they're your mom friend.
Yeah.
It might come up about, you know, your children spending time with their children if you're not there. Like that. So these are all conversations I think eventually need to happen with mom friends. And they don't have, and that's why we're doing this today. We're talking about a serious topic.
Yeah.
That needs to be talked about. We need to have these conversations. So there's another tip in here about, okay, so we talked about the whole stranger danger thing. You know, a lot of people think that strangers are these old, nasty, scary, you know, dark looking people, but they aren't necessarily.
We mean like dark, like shady.
No, like they're wearing
not
dark
the
clothes.
No, I'm gonna say not their shade, but like just like, you know, they look, you know, creepy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're wearing dark clothes, like they're
emo. Or the white van. Remember the white van? Never. Do you ever hear the story about like your parents was like, you know, stay away from vans and all this other stuff?
That happened to me. So, okay, I'm laughing about it now. So Halloween, when I was like 12 or 13, by that time you're not trick-or-treating anymore. You're running around.
Oh, shoot, I was. Free candy.
Do you believe in Santa Claus?
I probably did. I'm sorry, I'm trying to open up this drink and it's really not like agreeing with me. I might have to put down the phone for a second. Hold on. Go ahead, keep talking. Okay. I'm listening.
I'm talking to the ceiling, Suzanne.
Oh my God.
So,
well, at least it's not raining because when it rains, it leaks.
I don't even remember what I was saying. Oh yeah, so Halloween. I was standing there. My childhood like boyfriend or whatever. I was standing there with his brother, and we were trying to find the whole group. Yeah. And a white van. We were covered with shaving cream and just stuff, because that's what older kids do on Halloween. And a white van like drove past us. And it was slow, and the people in the van had masks. Yeah. And me and this kid like stared at each other like, what? What the hell is this? So that was the one time when I was younger where I've been in a situation where I was just like, I mean, he was small. My friend wouldn't have been able to defend me. I wouldn't have been able to defend my friend. You know what I mean? So it's just, it was just like,
it's like fight or flight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Scream and kick, if God forbid, you know.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, strangers can be. A stranger doesn't have to look like some creepy guy in the cuts.
Yeah.
Stranger can be some nice guy in a khakis and a polo. Or,
it could look like somebody, like a grandparent that looks really friendly, and you know.
Yeah, it could be a guy with a Santa Claus beard saying, "Oh, I'm Santa Claus." You know what I mean? A stranger doesn't have to look bad.
Yeah.
So we need to get that in our children's heads. But I used to tell. I mean, I still tell Liam, but I used to tell the kids all the time growing up, a stranger does not look bad. You know, stranger can be anybody. You know, somebody you don't know, even if they just say hi to you, they're still a stranger. You don't know them. They're a relative. You have known them for years. Yeah. They're still. But then there's the whole thing about relatives. Yeah. To sexual abuse and relatives betraying a trust of the family and the kids, and of course they're not strangers. They don't look, even if they look creepy, they're not strangers. Yeah, your relative. So you think that you're safe, but you might not be. So here's one big thing. Number 6 in the article, it talks about smartphones and tablets.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So
we had a speaker came to my son's school about bullying, and I'll if I can find his website, maybe I'll post it to the link later, where his son was bullied online and at school, and unfortunately took his life. And his one big thing is that, you know, You got to make sure that you have all your kids' passwords to their phone, their computer, their email, you know, and keep track of that, you know, their social, you know, their social media accounts, you know, you have to be all on top of that.
Mm-hmm. I completely agree. And you know, I know our boys play Roblox.
Yes.
So ever Liam's on Roblox, I almost every week once I say to him, do not give out your personal information. You have your Roblox. Do not tell anybody what your real name is, how old you are, where you live. Do not give any of that information out. And I read it because he's on there like chatting away. I'm like, who are you talking to? So sometimes it's his buddies from school, or your boys or whatever. But sometimes it's not. Sometimes
it's like a random person.
That's my Roblox friend, and like that's not your friend.
Yeah.
You don't know this Roblox friend is like a 50-year-old man playing Roblox in the middle of the. You don't know that. So I was like, don't call him a friend and don't give out any personal information. He hates it when I get on him, but I have to remind him constantly that he can't just trust somebody off the bat like that.
Oh yeah. I like, even like when, you know, my kids are, you know, Troy wanted to hang out at a friend's house from school, and you know, I had to say, like, you know, I'm sorry, I don't know his parents. I never met his parents. I never met him. I'm like, I can't let you go over there. I don't know him, you know. But that's just me, you know. You just got really, the light just got really dark.
Yeah, I touched the phone, so I think that's. So Mom made a comment. Georgia said, even at school, things they learn on TV, they share with each other. Yeah.
That's you know.
Yeah.
Like, so I know that big the TV series 13 Reasons Why. I don't know if you ever saw it. It's on Netflix. Yeah. 13 Reasons Why. It was I binge watched it. I didn't watch it from my TV. I actually watched it from my phone with my headphones. So I didn't want my kids walking in, because it was, even though it was geared towards high school kids and they're in middle school now, it's a heavy topic, and it's you know, I think, you know, somebody asked me, I think my sister asked me, like, oh, you know, my daughter was wondering if she could watch it, and I said, you know, I've seen it. I go, personally, I wouldn't do it. I would recommend maybe you watching it first and then you deciding if you want it. But that's also like a very heavy, you know, topic, suicide. So
yeah, so
bullying.
I allowed Ava and Jaden to watch it with me. I think I must have binged it with Jaden or something. But Jaden's 15 and Ava's 30.
Yeah.
And these are topics, they're in middle school. So these are things that come up, because in middle school is like the worst.
Well, you know,
school year. You know, people bully each other. They're really mean. And now with the internet, like Ava's told me situations she's had with people bullying her online. I'm like, forget them. They're just like off in their little corner being cowards.
It's tough for them, because, you know, back in the day when we were young, if we got bullied in school, when you left school, you didn't see those kids. Now it's like they can still come and attack them over social media and, you know, on any electronic device, whether, you know, or texting, email.
Have beepers.
Yes, it's crazy.
And I would get like mean beeps from people. Like, I don't know who they were. I don't know if it was girls hating
mean
beeps.
I used to get
beep. You know how you use the numbers to like say words and stuff?
Yeah.
That's
not cool.
Are you still there? You froze.
Yeah, no. Oh, I'm still here. I'm moving. You're still moving. Talking. Can you see me?
Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Okay.
Okay, my Wi-Fi is spotty.
Okay.
So the last thing that they mention is trusting your gut.
Yes.
In the article.
And that's where that book comes into play.
Yeah.
That's in the last question. What's the title of the book? You should have it in front of you, because
The Gift of Fear.
The Gift of Fear. Now, yes, I got it from Amazon. I only just started reading it, and the gist of it is, I guess, it's discussing real life events. The author, I guess, interviewed people through their real life events. Some of the names were changed and so forth, but discussing about how, like, almost like listening to that voice in your head. Like, if they listen to, you know, if they, you know, felt in on their instincts about, well, this is not right, something doesn't feel right, you know, maybe the outcome would have been different, or because I listened to this voice in my head, I was able to survive this event, you know, so I'm kind of excited about reading the book.
Yeah, well, that's so true. You know, we don't, I mean, as women, as business women, I always say I trust my gut, but I've never had, I know I've said it to the kids here and there, but not in that type of situation. You know what I mean? Like, God, thank God they haven't been in that situation, but trusting your gut is such a good point. You know, we have those innate instincts in us, just like any animal there. Like if you have a cat, his back face to you, his listening, you know, and he's trusting his gut, he runs away because he doesn't want to get hurt. Yeah. So the same thing for our kids. Our kids have to trust their guts and their instincts. And it's harder saying it to a 3 and 4 year old because they're still like, you know, they don't know.
Sprinkles, rainbows, and unicorns. It's, you know, everything is like, you know, okay in the world for them, you know?
Yeah. Should be. Technically, it should be. Our kids, thankfully, we live in the U.S. and, I mean, things are not perfect here, but it's a lot safer than many other places around the world that have horrible situations that 3 and 4 experiencing firsthand and getting PTSD from it. Yeah. But kids here, you know, well, most children here, they have the security. They live within a bubble. Yeah. Because of pop culture and TV and their phones and, you know, cartoons or whatever. And you're not thinking about those things. So technically, childhood should be like that. You shouldn't be thinking about these things. But parents need to think about it. Yeah. Having these discussions with each other. So I know this has been kind of like a serious conversation, but I'm glad we had it. I'm glad we talked about it. Our kids are a little bit older. They're still, I mean, your boys are 13 and 11, right? So 13, 11. Mine? Right? Yeah, you're 13.
No, 12 and 10. Well, 12 and 1 will be 11 soon.
I always think they're older. I always think Troy's like 13.
He's like an old soul, an old hyper soul.
Old hyper soul, right? Yeah. So our kids are a little bit older. We can have these serious conversations with them, but you know, as parents, we just have to be aware of them for our little ones, you know, or they're able to really comprehend what might be going on. We need to have some type of conversation with them and just be on the lookout for our own stranger danger situation for them. So I do want to give before we end our live Facebook, you're going to read that book. Yes. And you don't have to read it by next week because I know it's hard.
I know. I was like, when I got the book, I divided like, well, I have this many days. Let me divide it. And I had to read like 70 to 80 pages a night. And I'm like, that's not happening. It's almost like college. Like, you know how you used to like almost binge, like, like, oh my God, like, you know, I got this assignment like a month ago and it's due in like 5 days. Now I got to read this book and write, you know, type up a paper. Yeah. So I totally don't miss those days.
What we could do is like, you know, as you come across stuff that you think are really, we could always talk about it. Yeah. You know, by the end of our live Facebooks, you know, just point it out and stuff. And what I also got a book. So, you know, I host the radio show on Fridays. Follow Me Friday with Joan and Priya. So we had a guest on, this lady right here. And I'll give you the book when I'm done. It's really good.
It's Boss Mom.
Mom Boss.
Oh, Mom Boss. Oh, it's because it's backwards when you turn it. That's why. Boss Mom, Mom Boss.
Yeah, it's by Nicole Feliciano, who is the CEO of Mom Trends. And I actually took a quiz in here, and I was like, oh, crap. Even the quiz opened my eyes. You know, but it talks about how we juggle everything, you know, as business owners, we have kids, we have brands that we have to run, you know, our goals and, you know, everything. So I've just started reading it. So I'll probably eventually like do a review on one of our live Facebooks and talk about it a little bit. But I finally have a book I can read.
Yay! No more of those romance novels.
I don't really read the romance.
You read 50 Shades of Grey, the series.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it was a good storyline.
I'm sure. I haven't read that one yet.
It's a good storyline. It is a good storyline.
I know. Everybody says the book is better than the movie, but that's always the case.
It is, because they can show stuff that they detail out in the book, of course. So yeah, whatever. So what do you have planned for this week? What are you doing this week?
Well, I plan on turning 40 tomorrow. Not that I have a choice.
Happy birthday!
I know, I'm getting
Happy
old.
birthday to you.
Cha cha
Happy
cha.
birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sue. Happy birthday to you. Are you
So-
one? Are you two?
No, you might as well start like, are you 10? Are you 20? Are you 30? It'll go by quicker. I know, so I'm officially in the 40 club. I'll be officially in the 40 club. And
Tomorrow.
don't worry, yeah, in a couple months you'll be there too, so don't worry about it. I'll keep your seat warm. You know, what is it, like October, November? 4 months. In 4 months, 4 months from tomorrow, you'll be in the 40 club. So, and Wade's been in there for a while, so sorry,
I
Wade.
know, I've been there for a while. So what
I
are
know,
you
I
doing
saw
for your
that. No, Troy. My son has a football game, so hopefully, we'll just do that, and homework, and maybe they'll take me out to dinner. I don't know, or I'll just say like, "Oops, I forgot to cook." Now you gotta
They
take me
should
out to
cook
dinner.
now.
Oh my gosh, it's not gonna happen. They'll probably burn the house down.
Uh-oh. All right, so I want to say goodbye to our moms. You have a fabulous birthday tomorrow, and of course I'll call
Thank
you
you.
tomorrow. We'll talk.
Yes.
And everyone,
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and subscribe to YouTube videos.
our YouTube channel. It's
Video channels.
YouTube/user/MomsPumpHere.
Okay.
YouTube.
Yeah.
So make sure you subscribe, follow us everywhere, download the MomsPumpHere app, check out our website for blogs. We have we have new bloggers we're going to be featuring.
Yay!
We have like 5 new people that are
Oh,
going to
that's
be blogging.
awesome.
Yeah, so I'm so excited. Of course, you're number 1. You're like at the top.
Oh, thank you.
And so we're
Is it
so
because
excited.
my name is in alphabetical order, right?
No.
No.
You're fast.
No, my last name.
Oh, no.
B.
No, because you're number 1.
Oh, thanks.
So we're going to be kicking off blogs next week, and we even have a dad blog that we're kicking off too.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm so excited about that because we are dad friendly. So I'm excited we have a dad information being chipped in. So yay! Okay, so everybody, tune in next week. What are we talking about next week? We don't have plans yet.
I don't know. Unless somebody wants to post on our Facebook page or Twitter.
Oh, Chelsea
what?
says hi. Chelsea's one of our bloggers. Hi, Chelsea.
Hey. If somebody wants
So
to give
you and Chelsea have a lot in common. She's deaf, so
I'm not deaf.
Well, your parents.
Yes, my parents are.
Silly.
Yeah.
Shout out to Chelsea. Yeah. Okay. So I'm sorry I cut you off.
No, it's okay. I totally forgot what I was gonna say. That's all right. It happens all the time. What?
Wade was just talking to me.
Oh.
Oh, she's pumping right now.
Oh.
Pumping. Oh my God. Multitasking at its best.
I know.
So shout out Chelsea Sue. I'll talk to you next week. We'll figure out what we're going to talk about for
Love
hashtag.
you.
Love you.
Bye-bye.